Welcome back to the new ZRacing series for May 4x4. After a full month of gravel racing, we are finally back on tarmac, road bikes and fast racing. Stage 1 takes us to Scotland on rolling highlands over 2 laps, 23 kilometers, 180 meters of elevation, rolling terrain, punchy climbs and a nasty uphill finish. This route might not look brutal on paper, but don't be fooled, there's no real flat section out there, which means your legs are constantly under pressure, no long recovery, just one effort after another. This stage should suit the punchers and explosive riders who can repeatedly push hard for 1 minute, recover quickly and still have something left for the final sprint. My race prediction: survive the punches, position for the bray, sprint for the win. For stage 1, Zwift will give us either the feather or the draft boost. Both can be very helpful on a route like this. We will look into that more detailed later. Use your most aero bike frame, preferably upgrade it to level 5, and since speeds will be high even on the kicks, I'd recommend to go for the DT Zwifts disc wheels in category A. For lower categories, the DT Zwifts die-cut 65s or the new best arounder wheels, the Princeton Carbon Works Wake, should be your first choice. Let's get into the full ride-through of the stage. We start with a 5 kilometer long lead-in, which is mainly downhill. It's unlikely to successfully break away from a bigger peloton in this early stage of the race, so make sure to be covered in the bunch and let others do the work at the front. If you race in a smaller pan, be focused throughout the whole stage. There's basically no real flat section in Scotland, which always leads to active races. This is the only short riser during the lead-in. Get out of the saddle, grind on the pedals at 60 to 70 RPM for a few seconds and you should be safe. We will receive the first power-up right after we leave the pans. For this stage, we either get the feather power-up, which will reduce our weight by 10% for 30 seconds, or the increased draft for 40 seconds. Both can be helpful, and I'd suggest to keep your first power-up until we reach the breakaway bray. Enter it in a good position, because this is where you can expect the first big attacks and the peloton to increase the pace. It's 600 meters long at an average of 2.3%. And this will also be the finish later. My PB is from stage 2 of the fresh out at 51 seconds at around 6.3 watts per kilo. I expect a new PB in the final sprint on Monday. After we cross the lap and finish banner, we will receive the next power up and we will get another one after around 10.5 kilometers. Use it when you struggle to hold the group or if you attack off the front. So this is lap 1 of 2. Let's use this lap to talk tactics for 2 types of riders. The punchers with strong 1 and 2 minute power numbers. You want to make this race hard and the sprinters tired. You want to keep the pace up, push hard on all the kicks and risers. Or if your group is not working together and chilling during that first lap, you can launch an explosive attack and try to go for a breakaway move. On the other side, we have the sprinters with strong 5, 15 and 30 seconds power numbers. You want to ride efficiently. You never want to push the pace at the front because all you want to do is go all out in that final sprint. Until then, you will just stay covered in the peloton, let others do the work at the front and burn no matches. Alright, now we're almost done with lap 1. We're back at the breakaway bray for the second of 3 times. After talking tactics in lap 2, we will have a closer look at the rolling highlands loop. So we got 2 laps, 9 kilometers each. It's constant up and down, and especially the final 2 kilometers are really hard and perfect for those punchy riders. The loop starts pretty easy with some up and down. We have the first short riser coming after around 1.5 kilometers. It's not too crazy. You can see it here, 3%, maximum of 4%, I reckon. And yeah, just be ready because especially in that second lap, the punchers will push the pace at the front. The strongest riders will use that, will use any riser to attack and yeah, just push the pace, try to make those sprinters tired. And once again, like either you're a sprinter or you're a puncher, that's what you want to do for your type of riders. So play your strengths, try to hide your weaknesses, and yeah, just go with the flow and get ready for a great race because Scotland is one of my favorite worlds, especially for racing. I think it always offers some great racing and it's always great fun. All right, so after around 3 kilometers into the loop, we have another short riser. We also know that from the Zwift games TT, if you remember, that was like the end of the TT. And yeah, it's just a beautiful scenery also here around the castle. It's lots of like false flat sections. Also here you see 1%. Then we have like this 600 meter long riser with like 2 to 3%. And yeah, this is a long drag. And again, the punchers and the strong riders will use that to increase the pace, make the sprinters and the weaker riders tired and just try to play their cards. But as a weaker rider or a sprinter, You just want to stay in the punch, use your power-ups effectively, because you will be given plenty of them. You can see we cross here on the top of this climb counter, we cross the arch here, and we will be given another power-up. So in that first and second lap, make sure to use your first power-up in the first half, and then you will be given another power-up in the second half. And I reckon both are helpful, so either the draft or the feather. Probably if you're a top tier rider, you want to have the feather, because then you can attack off the front more easily. All right, then we reach the corkscrew castle climb, 360 meters at an average of 4.3%. You see a maximum of around 9% gradient. And this is where you will really need to kick in, like really explode on the pedals and make sure to get over this here. It's 25 seconds, average of 529 watts here for me in February 2026 in a club ladder battle. And yeah, the difficult thing is that you can see like on top, you're like 1.6 kilometers away from the finish line. So there's hardly any recovery left. That's also why I reckon this is more for the punchers than the sprinters, because the punchers will be able to repeatedly do these efforts and the sprinters probably won't. And you can also see that sprint at the end will be super long, 600 meters uphill up the breakaway brae. And yeah, this is just going to be a super hard and long sprint. And I personally will wait in the draft. I will wait for the final like 250 meters to attack, to launch the sprint. And you can use your power up with 400 to 500 meters to go, depending on your category. Again, it will last 30 to 40 seconds. And yeah, then just leave it all out there on the final 200 meters. It's a long sprint since it's uphill, so make sure to consider that when you launch your sprint. All right, riders, that's stage 1 of the new 4x4 ZRacing series. If you found this recon helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. It really supports the channel. And now I'm curious, are you excited to be back on road bikes after a gravel month? And what's your tactic for rolling Highlands? Good luck out there. See you on the start line.
Remember to subscribe.